Hi, my lovely spectators. Dee Dee here, and welcome to my studio. So, today's installment of 3 Under 30 is actually something that I saw on another channel, and I thought I would bring it to this channel and add a little change to it. This was from Patricia over at Le Café Graph. So she actually found it from someone else. It was a video from hers about 3 years ago, and I thought it was very clever, very cute. So I'm going to bring that to the table, and basically we're using envelopes in order to achieve that. So I have 2 envelopes here, and I have a piece of paper because you could actually do it with making your own envelopes. So if you don't have envelopes in in your stash, you can make the various types of envelopes, and we can show what it is that you do to make this project. So my usual go-to, I'm going to, let's clear this out. Let's add our 30 minutes. Yeah, I don't have the whole like digital Siri thing. So I'm just gonna put my bad boy to 30. I'm gonna go over the process, what it is to do, etc., etc. You will need a hole punch. Where did I put mine? I just used it and now it's gone. I pulled out a bunch of bits and bobs to kind of decorate. So the backing paper, I think this is from Sevenplaza. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm not, all these other pieces are. I'm using stuff that are from her digitals that are freebies. So if you are interested in any of these things, you can go over there and you can look at all her freebies and probably find them because they're a mixture of a bunch of things. All right, so 30 seconds. Let's see, where am I gonna place this bad boy that you guys can see it, and it won't be in my way. It's not gonna be in my way here. So yes, okay, that's fine. All right, so let's press start. Okay, so basically, you don't have to go deep into creating anything from scratch yourself. You can just use regular old envelopes that you have. I grabbed 2 different kinds, one that has the straight flap and one that has this pointy flap because it doesn't really matter. And we're going to make another envelope with this one. So I'm going to do that first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a coin envelope. So we all know the drill, right? This does not have anything on the back because basically we're making a full envelope. It's going to be closed. So this is about 8.5 by 11. I did have to trim off some of the white, so it's a little shorter. It's about 10.5 by 8. And just like any other person who's scrapping, we're just making something freehand, so I'm not going to be doing any like specific measuring. With our coin envelopes, we want to fold over one side, okay, and then we want to fold over the other side so that there is some overlap. Okay, if you want more, you can do that, whatever the case is. I'm just going to try to overlap, maybe, so I'm just going to show you, maybe just like a 1/2 inch, okay? So I'm going to do that. So to do a coin envelope, right, you're just taking 2 sides. Okay. So we know that the coin envelope is going to open on the top here and on the bottom here, right? So I am aware that this is sideways and that does not bother me. That's not a problem. We want to make sure that this is even and this is even, right? So I know that I've scored it well. I mean, I folded it and now I'm just going to burnish it down. Okay. And so the project is it's what we're going to do is simple. I just want to be able to show you variety. So you have this right now. We need to open it up and we need to create the flap underneath. So maybe 1 inch, maybe 1/2 inch, depending on how tall you want the page to go. I did about a little over 1/2 inch. I think I did about 3/4 inch because again, I'm just freehanding. Okay. And then we want to do that same thing on the side, on the top. Normally we might do it a little bit longer. We can, so that we can get the full-on vibe of the coin envelope by having the longer flap. That's totally an option. So I'm going to do that. And this one is about 1.5 inches that I've done that. Okay, so now we have a bunch of score marks that I hope you guys can see. We've got score marks across, and then these 2 here, score marks down here, and those 2 there. And we're going to now snip away pieces that we don't need. And we're going to snip them on those slight angles so that we don't have a problem with it being bunched up. So we're going to take a tiny sliver. So I'm on the, for me, the right side of the score line, and I'm going to snip it all the way to the intersection. So I have this little triangle that I'm trying to get rid of. And I'm going to do that on the other side. So now I'm to the left of the score mark. Again, another little sliver. Okay. Okay, now on the bottom, I'm going to also go into a slight angle to meet up with that right there. And that should now get that rid of here for you. Oh, I'm so congested. I'm so sorry. And then another little sliver, trying to match it just for aesthetics right there. Okay, so there we go. All right, so now we get rid of these two pieces. We don't need it. And we're going to do the same thing on the top. We're going to go to... This side is the left side of the score mark. I'm going to go up to that intersection. Go on the other side, do the same thing up to the intersection. So again, a little triangle here, a little triangle up there. And then for the top, we're going to do another little triangle for aesthetic and try to kind of mirror that. If you really want it to be exact, you could take this and bring it up to here to see whether or not, so like I'm not really exact, but again, that doesn't bother me. So, okay, we have our coin envelope, right? Look at this little piece here hanging out. I'm just gonna snip it away and let's assemble this, okay? So, we're gonna take wet glue for the most part, and we're going to want to do the inside. So, there is an overlap, right? Automatically of that 1/2 inch. So what we want to do is we want to put whichever one we're going to put down, and then the shorter one, I like to put the longer one and then the shorter one. If this is not in the middle, that doesn't bother me. If it does, then you maybe want to measure a little bit more and have like the same amount on both, but then you have to like add like a 1/2 inch on both so that they can you're gonna have to figure that out yourself right now. Today is not me being really mad specific because I don't feel like this is a necessary part of it. So we're gonna put a bead of glue on this edge, the one that's laying flat, and then on the edge that's a little longer, it has overhang, we're gonna put a bead of glue on the edge on the inside. So what we're doing is we're double gluing, and we're going to place that down. We're gonna make sure that it sticks. Now there maybe have been some squishage. So we're just gonna make sure that nothing is sticking to the bottom there. Now we're gonna also do this guy back here. On the bottom, we're going to do up the flap, and we're going to go like that and have that done. And so now we have our little coin envelope, right? Like we normally would. We'd be able to put whatever goodies inside we want to put inside, and then we would be able to put like a policy, like a circle, policy closure, you know, kind of thing. But what she did on her channel that I thought was cute was to make this a little bit more interactive and not just only an envelope. We could put anything we want in here, really. So what we're going to need to do, that you're like, what? Is we're going to be closing the envelope completely. So let's close up this envelope completely, okay? And when I say completely, I mean to actually, you know, really put adhesive on that flap. Now don't glue this little part down here too badly because we don't want to have things get stuck up there. So now we have a sealed envelope, okay? So I'm going to bring the other two back in, because I want to seal these guys up as well. Yes, there's nothing inside. There's nothing on the outside. We will be decorating these guys however you want to decorate them. Okay, and we're going to flap seal that. Now we have another sealed envelope. And then again, we're going to put some glue on these guys because this is a little bit different of a structure, right? It has those little round pieces here. And then for the most part, I'm going to put over here, so that all of the pieces of the envelope will stay together, okay? All right, so now what? Well, now what is the part of the thing that I said was like, oh my goodness, that is so cute. You're going to also need a card that matches the size. So I've already cut out. So, you know, you measure your envelope and you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 3/4, and then this one is 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4. So you want to get something that is going to fit within that, right? So I did this one. So I took one of the cards from one of the kits and I cut out this one. There's a little bit of a mess here, but I don't mind the rough edges. So I know that this card is going to fit, okay? I want another card that fits in here, and I already did that card, and I'll tell you what we're going to do with the cards in a second, right? And that fits in there. Ooh, sorry, my nose. And now this one, I made this from scratch. So now I have a few other cards here that possibly could fit. So I'm going to take a look. There's this card. Now this card looks like it'll fit, and I could take a little bit off of the edge. This card also looks like that it will fit. I kind of like this with the idea of the ledger. So it doesn't fit completely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure. I'm going to hold this card up. So you don't have to go to card stocks. You can go and get the stuff that you have in your stash. And right here is where I want to cut it. So I'm not going to use these today. And I'm just going to take out a blade and a ruler. And we're going to match up those two little pieces, those two little intersections that I drew. So I have a little mark there, another mark over there, and I'm just going to cut off this bottom piece. And this is totally usable as a layering piece. Put it back in your stash. Okay, so I am going to need this again. We'll need this again. Or your trimmer. You can still do this with trimmer. So now I want to make sure, yep, this guy does fit in here, right? Nicely. Okay, so we have a closed envelope and we have a card that fits inside if the envelope were open. Same thing for here. Same thing for here. So all we're going to do is we're going to now figure out a different way in which to open the envelope. Okay. This is where the little circle is also going to come in because it's going to provide for a little bit of insight. It's like the thumb notch of it all. So what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see. I'll do this one. I'll do I don't know. Yeah, I'll do the black one first. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to actually find a spot, right, on the envelope where I want to have a hole. Okay, and I'm going to put that hole like here. Okay, so all we're going to do is we're going to trace lightly around the circle. Trace lightly around the circle. Okay, and as you can see that, thankfully pencil does come up over. And then we're going to use our trimmer and we're going to cut exactly across this bad boy. I'm going to use my table because I have so much limited space. So I'm going to line up my envelope on the edges here. And I'm going to use this line right here to cut. So now I'm going to cut through both layers of the envelope. Okay. So we're opening up the envelope again, but we're just opening it up into two pieces. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So now we have two pieces, right? So now we have that one that seems like a big pocket here and one that has a pocket over here, but it's really super tiny. Before we go any further, we're going to take our hole punch. And again, I like to take this thing on the bottom off for the most part. I don't know why I keep it because I just keep taking it off. And we're going to look for, so obviously this is all 1.5. I punched a 1.5 template. So now I'm going to look for this edges on the envelope and I'm going to match it up and I'm going to pop through both. Okay, so we're going to get these little pieces and then I'm going to go do the same thing and I'm going to pop through both of them. Okay, so now when I come back, we have our full little circle. Okay, and what we have to do now is we're going to put the card inside. Okay, now since this card is decorated, if I were to put this card in here, again, got to make sure I get it on both sides, I would lose a lot of the element of the card. So for me, it doesn't bother me because there is no directionality until I've set it up. I'm going to put it in here. Okay? And you'll see that this is going to be able to tuck. Now, before I decide to glue anything, I'm going to pull this a little bit so that I am maximizing the card. See? So this edge over here shows me that I am nicely in the card. So I don't want to push this guy any further down. I'm just shifting it, adjusting it so that it is in here nicely. Okay. And it doesn't hit the bottom, if that makes sense, right? So the end of it is tucked into this top piece of the envelope, and this is almost to the edge, maybe a little bit more, just a little bit more, because I want maximum space here. Okay. And now that that's there, I could pick it up, or you can leave it on the bottom, and I'm just going to put glue around here, and I'm going to glue this into the top or the smaller piece of the envelope. Okay, so we're going to glue that, and we're going to go to the other side, and we're going to glue that as well. Okay. All right. And that is basically what we're doing here today. So now that this is glued, right, we have this nice little peekaboo kind of situation. We've got this envelope here. Now, I was a little off in this, which, you know, it is what it is. I think it's basically because I'm trying to show you and also see it. If you want to come in with the punch and fix this one up a little bit, you could. It doesn't bother me that much. So, yes, that's it. So now we have this little element right here. We've got a little peekaboo here, and we have this going on right there. So we have a card inside of a pocket, an envelope, and we can add things to it. This is a journaling card, and we are going to be able to decorate all around it. Okay. So this is the first project. I'm not going to decorate until I've shown you a couple of different, well, not different variations, right? So this is with the regular envelope. Yeah, this does bother me, but that's okay. I'm going to stop. I'm not going to, you know, sleep at night, but it's okay. This one here, we're going to do the same thing, right? I've got the top and the bottom. I have this going on here. I clearly can see that this is the top, that's the bottom, and you know, I don't want to cut too close to this because, you know, that's there. This is going to be my front. So I'm going to figure out where I want to trim this, right? So I could trim it about here, but I'm going to punch the hole first. So I'm going to put my circle down again and trace it one more time. I'm going to trace this circle. Okay, this little thing is a little bit bumping. Is making my circle move. It also might jam my thing because there's a lot of thickness. This is like a cardstock, so I mean just move it up slightly. Okay, and we're going to go like this. Now if you want to put it exactly in the middle, you can. That's up to you. Okay, so now I have that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this on the red line that I have here, because the actual design has the line here. So I'm going to just use this guy as a point for them to come together. I'm going to trim that off. Okay, let's get another one more time. There we go. It's free. Now I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to take our hole punch. And we're going to line up the circle as best we can. I need to point it towards me, guys, because then I could have better. Pop that out. Go to the other side. And I'm going to point it again to me, guys. Sorry. Line up that circle as best we can. Pop that out. Okay. And then we have our two pieces of the pie. A little better, right? A little better. A little better. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. So now, I need to now figure out like how I'm going to glue this. So again, this is the piece that's going to come pulling out. I want to see this. So, and I want it to look like that, right? So when I put it into an envelope or I put it into a sleeve into the journal or something like that, you're going to be able to decide how you're going to position this. Because I'm using ephemera pieces from a kit, I'm doing it this way. If you use a blank envelope, not a blank envelope, index card or something, then it really doesn't matter. But to me, I think it's more interesting if we use a little bit of something or paper or ephemera that we already have. Okay, so let's do this again. So we're going to put them together. Okay, we're going to make sure that I feel like this is up to the top, right? So I'm going to maximize. Let me do that first. I'm going to make sure that this is coming up to the envelope, right? To that seam. That's there. And if I don't want to lift it because I'm afraid of shifting, let me fix this again. Then I could just tuck my little glue point underneath there to get the first side glued. Okay, at least get it started. Now once that's already started, then I can lift it up and I can glue under here. And then the same thing on this side. Oh, I'm so sorry about the congestion. My hay fever is getting to me badly. So, and the change of like temperature from like an air conditioned room to an outdoor room that's not air conditioned, it just gets to me. Okay, so now that is done and we have this. So again, we put this together. We've got this cute little cute little hole there, peekaboo. We've got another peekaboo on the side that we can decorate. When we pull it out, we have this. We could add more decoration. This could be left as a journal card. That is entirely up to you. You could punch another something, which we'll talk about when decorating, right? And we'll talk about how we could secure this. Okay, so this is very similar to the black one. So now let's take a look at this guy here. So now this one has the little triangular piece. It doesn't matter which one it is, right? So this is fits in here nicely, right, from side to side. What I want to do this time is the same thing. We're going to put a little hole. Let's put a hole here. Yeah, let's put a hole here. So, you know, just give us a little hole here. Okay. And then we're going to, again, cut through this. Now, what I wanted to do that I don't recall Patricia doing was I'm actually going to cut it the long way or the height of the envelope. So I'm just going to pick a spot. No, kind of want, I mean, it doesn't, you don't have to be in the zero circle center of the hole necessarily, but I think maybe aesthetically it just feels a little nicer. But you know what, actually let's try and see how that looks. Yeah, so I'm gonna line this one up here. So I'm gonna punch, I'm gonna cut, let's cut right here. Okay, so it's not exactly in the center. It's close to the center. You know what? Let me not punk out. Let's just do this. Okay. You know what? We're trying different things and putting our twist on different things. Okay. Is it free? It's free. Okay. So again, let's go back. Let's find our circle. I need to, find the hole there. I need to look at it so that I can get it better than I did the last time. Pop that bad boy up. He's out. Go over here, find the other half or quarter or whatever sliver. There we go. Pop that out. Now, you could, for all intents and purposes, decorate the envelope first with like another piece of paper. Like I could have added this page to that and matted it. That's totally an option. It's up to you. Okay, so what we're going to do here is take our card And this time, right, we're going to put this in this side like we were doing before. So this is the bottom, right? Even though it's a vertical, this is the bottom. Okay, and for me, this is the back. So you know what? Hey, it doesn't matter. Let's turn it over down, over there. So now our hole's on the top, but that's okay. We're going to take our put it in here. We're going to center from top to bottom, and we're going to look. Does it feel like it could move over a little bit more? It does. So I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that out just a little bit more. I'm going to make that a little straight. I'm going to make sure that this is straight. Now, if you can't get your nozzle in there, right, then take a piece of washi and just like for temporary, right, you can just hold it there, right? You can just hold it there for temporary. Then take it out because you've lined it up. Go to the back, add your glue. Okay. Make sure that it's setting. Then you can take off your washi on this side so you don't danger or injure whatever that is. And then you're going to put this over here. Okay. So now that's there. Lovely. Done and done, right? So now you have the two pieces that will slide into each other like the others. And you have this little peekaboo, right? You have now this pull out. So you pull it out, you have journaling on the back, you have decoration, you could add more decoration, you could put extra stuff in here. That's totally the case, right? So one of the things you might want to do, or, you know, an easy decoration thing is to take something that you want to use as part of your decor. So maybe I'm planning to put this over here somewhere on this as my focal image here, right? If I have another butterfly, do I have another butterfly? I should have another butterfly. I was going to do a full-on decoration, but I only have 4 minutes yet left here in my 30 minutes of project, which, you know, you got the gist of the project. You don't have to hang around, and I don't think we're going to hang around and do any decorations because basically you decorate for your own aesthetic. And yes, I'm sure you don't want to stop looking at my arm. But let's say I wanted to have this behind it. I could pop the circle out of this. And let's say I like those two, right? So I'm going to take that little circle. I'm going to come over here. I could start my decoration right there and put that on there. So when it is slipped back in, it fills the circle. You don't see it. Or I could even put it on the back side right here. So that, let's do that. Why not? Why not? Right? Okay. Let's do that. Let's put this one here. Okay. Okay. You still see the pencil a little bit, so I'm going to just do a quick little erase. I didn't do any inking. You could totally ink as well. Right? So when you go in here and you put your thing together, right? You have your little circle and it fills in that little spot right there, especially on the journaling side, just so that it's not a white spot. This has something on it, and then you can continue to build off your decoration. You can build off your decoration on this side so that this stays completely here. You maybe want to add some other, like I have this washi that I made out of fabric. You can maybe do that so you have something going on that side if that's the vibe that you're going for. So basically today's project, I don't know how many times I've said so, has been to create these little pocket pull-aparts, right? So you have one. The ones that, like I said, that I saw at Patricia first was that she did them this way with an index card. I changed it up by using a little bit of a card that has to do with, why does it look crooked all of a sudden? It's crooked. Anyway, I guess am I rushing and also seeing it from an angle. So my thing is that when you have your envelope, that you don't have to use an index card. You can use a card that has some ephemera on it, with the back being for journaling, or you could even decorate the back. I think this might have been cut crooked, but anyway, the being that it's cut crooked, it doesn't matter, because if you cut them together, they will come together. You could put it into a pocket. You could put it on the page itself, right? You could make your own envelopes, do the same type of thing here, right? And that's up to you, right? That could be the front. That could be the front. This, I think, is the front, because I think I would like to see this, but that's my preference, right? Or you could do it on the side. Now, how do you attach it? If you wanted to attach it, I would totally attach it onto the page. You could attach it in either way. You could attach it with the big side, and then this is the pullout, right? Or you could even attach it where you attach the skinny one, and this is the pull off, right? It's up to you. Same thing here, right? If you're going to attach it, and because you've done the index card thingy with a decor piece instead, you could put it in there, attach at the bottom, and then this is the pull up. Okay, if you're going to use it as a pocket for more ephemera and added goodies, then you'll probably want to attach it with the bigger piece on the bottom, and then maybe just use a blank index card so that way nothing comes up upside down. You could attach it this way, sideways, you know, so you can attach it that way. It's all up to you, and you can just leave it as something you tuck into a pocket. So here's our little project. Let's make our, I don't know what she called them, but our little oopsie, our little envelopes of peekaboo envelopes with a surprise inside, or option for surprise. So I hope you enjoy. You try making them. I'm gonna decorate mine and then throw them on Instagram. But I'm gonna stop the video here because the projects are in essence done. The decorating is up to you and your preference. And sometimes we just need to make bases in order to actually have them for later. So the index card is an awesome way to just have them as a base, and then you add, because you could have an index card and then you could mat ephemera onto it. I just figured I'd use ephemera. So there's my 30 minutes. The project is done. Explanation is made. And so thank you for watching. If you have liked the video and were inspired to do some of this, by all means, tag me in Instagram. And also here, because it's the same DDS Studio 72. Oh, I'm changing my name. And if you want to come back, I'm trying to hang tight and do every single month, every single day. Then by all means, click subscribe, notification bell, comment, tell me what you thought. I again apologize for the stuffiness, but the show must go on. So until next time, bye-bye. Ciao.